next YA series it actually just announced last week, I believe, or the week before. Yes, the week before. And gosh, no, I think that was last week. What is time? So my next series is a little bit more, gosh, I don't know how to describe it. It definitely does have these real world topics though woven in. It's just a lot more nuanced. In the A Taste of Magic series, I'm working on book 2 now. You can expect tons of shenanigans, lots of humor, lots of silliness. I mean, for readers, the magical world is policed by ferrets who have, I mean, they don't talk or anything, but part of the magic system is that you can connect people who have a link specialty. They can link themselves emotionally with a creature, and ferrets are the most popular creature used for linking. And so the police in this world, the magical authorities in this world, to amplify their ability to be in multiple places, they will link themselves to several different ferrets. And so you might have a ferret show up at your door to investigate misuse of magic instead of a magical authority figure. And so they're a little ridiculous because they don't communicate, but they're very bossy and demanding, and they have these really shiny badges, which I think gives them like this sort of I'm better than you syndrome. And they're just hilarious. I mean, when I'm reading it, it's a little ridiculous because it's funny. I mean, they're bossy and kids fall in line. They're just like, no, I mean, they're not talking, but they make what they want to say known. And the kids, you know, they snap to attention, which is kind of hysterical. And then there's like a stove in here that spits out pizzas on demand. His name is Lou. And you can tell Lou whatever you want. Now, Lou is getting a little on in age, so we might see him revisited in book 2. And maybe the orders that you place don't come out exactly like they're supposed to. But Lou he's the best babysitter because he can feed you whatever pizza you want. So like that sort of like silly ridiculousness you will see in the entire series. And my goal is to make readers just crack up laughing, but also learn something. And that's, again, threaded through. I want it to be 6 books, but I'm taking it 1 book at a time. So at this point, it's 2. We'll see after 2 if it's going to be 3. But in my head, it has capacity to be like 6.
So that, again, without spoiling or asking you anything you can't necessarily answer, I'm assuming the ending for book 2 has to be something that leaves it wide open for the other 4 you'd like to do, but could also be a good finale if it ends up being a duology, right?
I will definitely decide on book 3, whether or not I'm going to do a book 3 before I finish 2, because the direction that I'm taking this series is that the magical problems get bigger and grander, and they take you to newer places. And so if we're going to go to that newer place, I'm going to seed that at the end of book 2. So I just need to finish it and see what I think. I love my idea for book 3. I think it's just as wacky and wild as the other ones. So as long as I still feel that conviction at the end of book 2, I'll keep going.
Is that, and I guess we'll find out as you're going, but I'm assuming that also opens up the that not problem, the opportunity for a solution, that your world's going to get bigger. So the story is going to get bigger. You're going to have characters that you need to check on from the previous book. So by the time you're getting to book 6, you're going to be in Game of Thrones length, right?
Yeah, that'd be fun. I mean, that's one of my favorite series. So yeah, that'd be fun. I think the fun thing about middle grade is I'm able to localize things quite a bit. And so I've been able to like tie up certain characters' plot threads. And there's a trio. I don't want to ruin it. There's a trio in this book of kids. That trio is still central in book 2. In book 3, the trio is going to have to split up to tackle different things. So that'll be interesting because they'll be in 2 different places. If I write book 3, it sounds like I'm writing book 3 because I'm very excited about it.
If I were a betting man, I would put money on the there's for sure going to be a book 3. We'll see about book 4, 5, and 6. Although I imagine if you could find passion for 3, you'll probably find passion for 4, 5, and 6. So keeping track of your world building and of your magic systems. We talked about, you've got the synopsis for the plot, you've got what's happening at the beginning of the chapter, end of the chapter, but you've got to keep a magic system that's going to still, you're not going to hate yourself when you're 4 books in and looking back and like, why did I make that rule? Now I can't do the thing I want to do in book 4.
Yeah, that's so tricky. And I would say that's one of the biggest things I've learned since my first book is just how to build a magic system. And I'm constantly like learning and relearning and unlearning and I just feel like I learned so much each book. I still feel like I have so far to go. And I think that's the most exciting part about being an author, is that with every book, I'm having fun, but I'm also teaching myself things and learning new things. And like when I finish a book, it's never perfect, which is, I don't believe things can be perfect. So I don't even put that pressure on myself. But I do move on to the next thing and go, okay, like, what am I going to learn now? And I mean, implicit in that is, what am I going to do wrong here? And there's just something beautiful about sort of approaching life from that way, recognizing that like, I'm going to make mistakes, I'm going to learn things, and that's how it's supposed to go. So I'm very excited about sort of the books to come and what I'm going to do with the magic. I have the way, one of the structural things I can share about the series is that there are, so in magic school, in Park Row Magic Academy, which is the magic academy in this book, there are general spells, charms, potions, and availables. Now there are links, but Park Row does not have the budget to be able to do link training. So there are all of these different types of magic. And what I'm hoping to be able to do is do one book that is a deep dive in each type of magic specialty, so that it feels fresh and exciting and sort of new. Because part of the exciting part about a magic system is like, it's new. And so we get such a deep dive into Kiana's magic specialty in this book that I thought in book 2, it would be fun to dive into one of the other magic strands. And by this point, Kiana's using her magic, so her magic strand is still there. But you get to see us focus in on another magic specialty. And since there are so many, I feel like each one can sort of parallel a book. Perhaps that's the tentative plan, at least.